Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hello everybody, this is Josh, and here we have Game 7 of the GosuGuide.com showmatch series between MTW Dimaga, the Ukrainian Zerg player. He is the blue Zerg up here in the top right of Xel'Naga Caverns, and he is playing against KiWiKaKi, the red Protoss, down here in the bottom left. And KiWiKaKi recently placed second place at MLG Raleigh. That was about 2 weeks ago, and he collected a nice 4-digit sum. And Dimaga actually got third place at the Intel Extreme Masters Global Challenge in Cologne, Germany about a month ago, and also got a 4-digit sum. But this show match series is being played for $200 American, and the winner of this game will get it because the series is tied 3-3 and it's a best of 7. So whoever gets this win will take home the cash. That is being provided by In Control, LZ Gamer, and Machine over at GoSuGuide.com. If you need some help with your game, give them a look. But we just saw some crazy stuff throughout this series. Like, KiWiKaKi actually hasn't really had to do much except defend. 2 of his 3 wins came from just really good defense, and 2 of Dimaga's 3 wins came from a little bit strange tactics. One was a 6-pool on cross-position Metalopolis, and one was Nidus play inside KiWiKaKi's base on Scrap Station, or inside his wall-off, I should say. Not really in his main, but on the other side of a stout wall-off. So Dimaga getting that spawning pool before gas this time, so might be doing something a little different than just straight for speed. Not sure what's going to happen there. He might be going for that faster expand, but he's got this Overlord already spotting this probe hanging out. So not really too sure what's going to be coming from Dimaga. He's always surprising. I thought I had him figured out to a degree, but after watching the games in this series, I just really never know what he's going to be doing next. He's got a ton of money there. What did he just build? Another Overlord, never mind. I thought perhaps a hatchery would go down here soon, but looks like he's not even going to build gas or another hatch until this pool is done. KiWiKaKi doing a forward sort of wall-off, sort of not, more of a hook, I guess. He's got this pylon down at the bottom of his ramp and 2 gateways coming in. And it looks like from the last couple of games he's just been doing a modified, very standard Protoss play where he gets 2 gateways and then the assimilator and cybernetics core instead of just 1, to help defend against masslings or banelings or things like that. And if he's expecting banelings, I do expect to see a forge dropped by KiWiKaKi. But did he get that scout up the ramp? I don't think he did, so he did not have time. Actually, he did see the completed spawning pool and no gas, so maybe he can kind of change gears. And I don't know what to expect still. There goes the gas and a roach warren up at the same time. So roaches are going to be the unit for the early game, and he's getting that natural up now. So KiWiKaKi probably can just build as he normally would, only get a couple of zealots to defend against the initial Ling attacks. There are 2 zealots already out and chasing. 2 more zealots coming out now to help defend. And I'm not sure if he's going to be able to kill any of those Lings. Kiwi is working off of 1 gas, doesn't have a cybernetics core just yet. Instead, he's getting that forge before a cybernetics core. Dimaga is running away back home with his few Lings. He's at 8, which seems to be the number that he likes to have in the early game before switching gears. And Roach Warren is now out, so he can start making some of those. And his recent build has included getting that second gas and getting a lair very quickly so that he could get roach speed, but maybe Xel'Naga Caverns he has a sort of a different play style. We'll have to see. The KiWiKaKi hanging out at the watchtower is able to see all these Lings coming in, only 10 Lings there against 4 zealots. Based on what we saw earlier, Dimaga might actually be able to hold off 4 zealots with just Lings, but the fact that there are roaches out now as well means that Kaki is getting far behind here. He needs a cybernetics core or a change in tech. There is the cybernetics core. He could probably get another gas by this point too, but he's going to finish his wall off with a single cannon, or at least his hook. Zerglings can still get in back here. Roaches can still get in back here. He needs to build 1 more cannon here if he wants to really pull off that wall off. But these zealots are pursuing roaches, which you hardly ever see because they are the same movement speed, but roaches are ranged, so that means they can split directions where the zealots cannot. But all these Lings and roaches now on creep are going to have the advantage, so KiWiKaKi's not going to press the issue at all. The lair still not coming in yet. There's just not enough gas. He needs more extractors if he's going to be doing anything this game. you know, one extractor is not really enough to continue pumping roaches or get any additional tech. So we'll have to see what he does. KiWiKaKi looks like he's just keeping his zealots nearby so that Dimaga knows they're still around. Don't think he's going to be trying to do any real attack here, as you know, these roaches on the creep and these lings on the creep are probably going to be able to defend against this just fine. Zealots really don't do that well against range units of any type, obviously, even if there's a whole mess of them like this. But there's queens out as well, and transfuses. Actually, they don't have enough energy for transfuses, but they are another ranged unit, and they're pretty beefy, so they can certainly help swing a defense at that natural. And KiWiKaKi's Nexus is almost done over at his own natural. He's been doing these wall-offs / hooks into expansion every single game, except for the 6-pool game where he didn't have a chance to. He looked like he was trying to, though, because he did have a gateway blocking his ramp in that game as well. But Stalkers are now out on the field, and those certainly do well against roaches. I was saying earlier, Zealots don't do too great there, but Stalkers, of course, do extra damage against armored, have better range, and it looks like they move faster, too. I'm just going to verify that. Yeah, they move quite a bit faster. So all these roaches on the creep are going to have to be able to defend against this. This almost looks reminiscent of a Reaper defense here at this natural, but KiWiKaKi doesn't have Reapers. He's only got the very clunky Zealots that can't do anything except run in straight lines, and these couple of Stalkers who can't really do anything except shoot and move. So Dimaga should be able to defend this quite easily if KiWiKaKi keeps pressing in, I have to imagine. Even though he's got no additional tech, Zergling speed is now being researched, no lair coming in yet, he's just building more and more lings. These roaches actually might go down if he doesn't micro them. There he does, gets them off of those zealots. Very easy to do on the creep. He's going to have to take the stalker shots, but there's no reason to let zealots just whack away like that. So he is going to be able to repel this as expected. Only 3 stalkers left against 4 roaches and a handful of lings. Zergling speed is not done though, and neither is roach speed, so he needs to stay on that creep. Can't really chase down. As you saw, he did lose a couple of roaches just by trying to get those stalkers out of his hair. Now KiWiKaKi is going to poke back in and try and score a couple of kills, at least let Dimaga know that he has not gone anywhere. These destructible rocks are almost down, so Dimaga might be able to take a 3rd base here relatively soon if that is his intent. Glial Reconstitution is coming in, roach speed that is finishing up, or actually starting up, and the lair is done, obviously, because you can't get roach speed without it. Oh, there goes that 3rd very quickly, actually, so it looks like he was planning that all along. He does have 900 minerals here. Holy crap, he could build more queens, spine crawlers, something. 1,000 minerals and only 100 gas. He needs to do some mineral dumps somewhere. But first Evo chamber is coming in as well. If we look at KiWiKaKi's base, sometimes I kind of forget what to do and look at both players' bases, but looks like he is going to be up to 5 gateways total. Warp Gates tech must have just finished because he's just now flipping these over to Warp Gates. He is getting 1 robotics facility as well. Dimaga has favored tunneling roaches in the last few games, so good idea to get that robotics facility up ahead of time and get an observer out as soon as possible. So KiWiKaKi working off of 4 gas on 2 bases. Dimaga working off of 4 gas and 2 bases, but this 3rd one will be completed soon. His big old force of roaches and zerglings is still just breaking down rocks wherever he sees necessary. There is range damage being researched right now. That Hydralisk Den should be done. Where is it? I don't know. Oh, it's behind his natural mineral line, and is researching that extra range for the Hydras. He's also getting a 4th hatchery here, so he'll be on 3 bases, 4 hatch. A really, really good amount of production there. Looks like Idra-style macro Zerg rather than something sneaky like Nidus or 6-pool like we've seen out of Dimaga, or even Baneling busts. Idra's not really too fond of doing the Baneling busts, but anyway, enough about him. He's not even in this game. This is Game 7 of a series between Dimaga and KiWiKaKi, and it all comes down to this. Whoever wants those $200 needs to win this game. So KiWiKaKi moving down to the 3rd. He saw all those units breaking down the rocks earlier in the match, so he is going to know about this 3rd. It is totally undefended right now, except by 1 queen, so he's just going to power down this hatch and probably just run away, which is a great move. And yes, he does run away. He could even drop a nice key, couple of force fields here. There he does. Kills a lot of lings here in his retreat. These roaches are going to have to try and squeeze through the gaps here. Very good move by KiWiKaKi to kill that hatchery with very little consequence. And now that roach speed is done and these Hydras have their increased range, he is going to try and chase him down. I don't know how I feel about this, just because I feel like KiWiKaKi has enough units here, and it is going to be able to reinforce very easily because he's very close to home. KiWiKaKi is expanding over here at the high yield. Dimaga also expanding at the same time, so both players keeping up quite well. KiWiKaKi did kill that hatchery off, but the rest of the structures are already up, so Dimaga is just going to continue distance mining from there until that hatch is good to go. He's got quite a lot of Hydras here, 139 food against 108 food, and last time we saw a food disparity this big, Dimaga did end up winning that game on Steps of War. So if Dimaga can just control this food count, keep getting farther and farther ahead, this hatchery obviously set him back quite a bit, so KiWiKaKi is going to try and catch up here. He's at 119 food now against 149, still a 30 food difference, but if the unit composition is right, and it looks like these are going to be just fine against this number of roaches. Force fields, of course, make a huge difference, and now, oh, look at this, like, 2 force fields just caused 4 roaches to die because the Hydras and other roaches could not come in to reinforce. So it's exchanges like that that KiWiKaKi will need to be able to stay in this game. He's still down 31 food. He's continuously warping in Stalkers and Sentries. Sentries, of course, are probably going to be the big key in this in these next few engagements. So KiWiKaKi looks like his Nexus is finished up. Dimaga's high yield and third base are both finished up, so Dimaga's off of 4 bases, 5 hatch, lots of queens to go around, so he's going to try and get up to 200 food quickly. He is losing his food lead right here. All these stalkers keep coming in. We saw that Blink Micro out of KiWiKaKi earlier do some incredible damage against Dimaga's forces in Steps of War. He does have more of them this time around. He's also got a Robotics Bay coming in now, as well as 4 more gateways, so he's not going to be behind in production buildings at least. Dimaga is going to have the production superiority off of 5 hatches and 4 bases, though, and all these queens just spitting larvae all the time. So 1-1 upgrades for KiWiKaKi, important to note. Only 1-0 upgrades for Dimaga, but he is getting the Zerg missile weapons level 2 and a Spire coming up. Was that an Overseer or an Overlord? I didn't quite see in time. However, here we have an engagement. 2 force fields go down. Look at all these units back here unable to fire, while KiWiKaKi has a beautiful concave here and is actually able to blink back all these hurt stalkers. As you can see, more and more of them will get down into the orange and red, but the blink just keeps them alive and able to keep shooting. These Hydras just switch targets whenever something blinks back, so all the full health stalkers are taking damage instead of those very low health stalkers. And that swing, KiWiKaKi is now up 20 food on Dimaga. He just started cranking some more eggs, and KiWiKaKi, just with Blink Micro and Mass Stalkers, is able to get the better of Dimaga's giant forces there. He's still using the Blink Micro to avoid this wall of Lings and Hydras. Look at this, the food difference is massive now. KiWiKaKi went from being down about 30 food to being up 30 food just through the use of some very impressive Blink Micro. So KiWiKaKi, the king of Protoss Micro in my opinion, and the opinion of many others, able to take that Game 7. Dimaga says GGG, grats. KiWiKaKi is going to take home the $200, and that was a very fun series for me to watch. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well, and next week, whatever GoSuGuide.com chooses to do, if I have time, I'll try and bring you that series as well. You can find Huck vs. Morrow over on Husky's channel, I believe, but if you guys enjoyed that, I hope you'll stick around and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next game, whatever I choose to cast. Thanks a lot, and bye-bye, and thanks, and bye, and thanks, and bye. Bye-bye.